7 animals you would not believe existed. 1. The giant African snail. In Africa, if you're a snail, you either get huge or leave. Please bear with me even though that makes no sense at all. Achatina achatina, sometimes known as the giant Ghana snail, is a big, voracious gastropod that can occasionally reach lengths of over 30 centimeters. It is regarded as one of the most invasive species in the world because it is incredibly adaptable, consumes a variety of foods, and breeds prolifically. They come from West Africa but have settled all across the world, including places like Barbados or Florida. They are frequently regarded as pests. However, because they are occasionally kept as pets, they are frequently seized at U.S. airports. These snails are hermaphrodites, like practically other gastropods. 2. Chinese giant salamander. The largest amphibian in the world, the Chinese giant salamander, Andreas davidianus, can grow up to 1.80 centimeters long at times. The Chinese giant salamander is considered a delicacy and utilized in traditional Chinese medicine. It isn't really that adaptive. The species is critically endangered owing to habitat loss, pollution, and overcollection. Chinese people frequently consume an animal till it becomes extinct. The Chinese giant salamander, which can reach lengths of up to 1.8 meters and has a huge tail that makes up over 60% of its body length, is the largest amphibian in the world. Even a 3-meter, 70-kilogram salamander was reportedly bought at a neighborhood market in China in 1983. The Chinese gigantic salamander, the Japanese giant salamander, and the American hellbender are the only 3 living species of giant salamander in the family Cryptobranchidae. The Jurassic period is when the ancestors of the Cryptobranchidae split apart from all other amphibians, over 170 million years ago. Because they are found at the ends of a long, isolated branch, gigantic salamanders are one of the most isolated families in the history of amphibians. Due to habitat loss, water pollution, and over-harvesting of natural populations, the Chinese giant salamander is in grave danger of going extinct. This is because the species is prized in China as a delicacy and is also utilized in traditional medicine. As a result of the species' catastrophic population reductions, the IUCN Red List has designated it as critically endangered. Despite the expansion of commercial salamander farming throughout China, it is believed that the bulk of the animals traded are captured from the wild. However, because the Chinese giant salamander is forbidden from being traded internationally. 3. The fruit bat. The largest bats in the world are found in the megabat group, however not all species are enormous. The smallest species only measures 6 centimeters. Fruit bats, sometimes known as flying foxes, are the largest species, with wingspan reaching 1.5 meters, 4 feet 11 in. Because they are so enormous and fascinating, some biologists think that primates rather than bats were the ancestors of mammals and that the capacity to fly has undergone multiple evolutionary changes. However, the majority of experts reject this hypothesis. 4. Giant freshwater stingray. Even the largest stingrays don't always reside in the water. The 500 to 600 kilograms giant freshwater stingray is the average weight, 1,100 to 1,300 pounds. However, just like the salamander, they are becoming less common. The World Conservation Union has classified the gigantic freshwater stingray as severely endangered in some locations and endangered in others due to overfishing and habitat loss. 5. Giant Weta cricket. That cricket is eating a carrot, in case you were still in any doubt. The 11 species of enormous wetas, Dinacrita spp, are much larger than their relatives, who are also larger than the majority of insects. They are an excellent example of island gigantism and are mostly found on small islands off the coast of New Zealand's larger islands. They occasionally exceed 10 centimeters in length. 6. The Nomura jellyfish. When completely developed, the diameter will be significantly taller than the typical man's height. They are native to the waters off of Japan and can weigh more than 200 kilograms. Although Nomura jellyfish are incredible creatures, scientists are concerned about the population boom. The Daisen Shinsho Maru, a 10-ton fishing trawler, crashed in 2009 as its crew attempted to haul in a net with dozens of them because they are so heavy. Away from predators and other dangers, Nomura's jellyfish can be found in the Pacific Ocean close to China and Japan. Although these jellyfish only live for around 2 years, during that time they reproduce incredibly quickly, preventing populations from drastically declining. As they become older, adults tend to grow bigger than juveniles, thus the simplest way to tell if you're looking at an adult is by their size. They are a particular variety of comb jelly that can be found in Japan's warm, deep seas. Nomura's jellyfish use 8 rows of tentacles to form an opening known as their mouth or bell margin for food acquisition on the surface of their bells. They consume plankton and other small animals floating around them. There are approximately 150 species in the globe, and 90% of them are found close to Japan. Because the Nemopilema nemurai consumes more than other forms of jellyfish, it has earned the moniker, king. Many communities refer to these organisms as a nuisance when they swarm into fishing areas or impede beachgoers' enjoyment of the coasts throughout the summer. It has long been believed that Japan should be free of the invasive species Nemopilema nemurai. Additionally transparent, these mythical Japanese beings allow you to glimpse inside of them to see their insides. These animals more than 10 mouths on either side of their bell, which produce potent stings for capturing prey like small fish or crabs, fascinates some people. 7. The Japanese spider crab. Crabs are really cool creatures, but there's certainly something in the Japanese seas. The gigantic Japanese spider crab, which can weigh up to 19 kilograms and has formidable claws that can cause significant harm, has long been a mainstay of Japanese fishing. They have the largest arthropod leg span, measuring 3.8 meters from claw to claw. Despite the Japanese spider crab's intimidating look, it often has a fairly friendly nature. It is the largest known living arthropod and has the longest leg span of any arthropod, with its front claw tips sometimes reaching up to 12.5 feet apart. The name, Japanese spider crab, comes from the fact that these crabs resemble spiders and are found in the waters surrounding Japan. The translation of their Japanese name, Taka-a-shigani, is tall legs crab. The Japanese spider crab has 10 limbs instead of 8, but it still resembles a spider as its name suggests. It is the largest arthropod, reaching to a maximum of 12 feet, 3.7 meters, across with a maximum body width of 15 inches, 37 centimeters. Males tend to be larger than females, and it can weigh up to 44 pounds. This crab has white markings around its legs and an eye-catching orange tint. Females often have a bigger belly to hold their eggs, and their carapace is pear-shaped and narrows toward the head. Throughout adulthood, their bodies don't change, but their legs keep growing. Males have longer chelipeds, whilst females have considerably shorter chelipeds, which are shorter than the next pair of legs. Their legs loop inward to help with hooking and grasping. These spider crabs are frequently observed with one leg removed due to their long, weak legs.